What's up, everybody? It's me, Bryson Booker, and guess what? It's that time of year again. It's time for me to show you my 2018 VHS collection as well as PlayStation 1 video game collection, and I'll do that in another video. But every year, if you guys don't know, I'm going to be uploading this on Facebook as well as YouTube. So, if you guys don't know, I love collecting 90s VHS tapes, but not just 90s VHS tapes. Now it has gone into almost every era, at least every era that makes good movies. But most of these tapes are from the 90s because, you know, that's my favorite decade. So I've been collecting VHS tapes, I would say, since around 2012. I first started in 2012, and my collection has grown ever since then. And surprisingly, some of the first tapes that I got when I first started collecting are still here, and as well as many others that I've added throughout the years. And again, I've added some more tapes to my collection this year, some awesome movies that I love. And you're going to sit there and you are going to be in awe of my collection. Well, if you want to. If you don't care, that's also fine. But we're going to get right started here pretty quickly, as in now. So, say goodbye to my face because that's the last time you'll be seeing it. But before I get into this, I just want to say that when I normally put my tapes away, I normally organize them by studio. And so right around here is Paramount, and then we have Universal Studios here. We have Touchstone Pictures, Columbia Pictures. This is kind of miscellaneous. This is New Line Cinema, so we got some New Line Cinema. Currently, I only have one MGM tape. And then over here we got Fox. This is the Fox section. I got some Nickelodeon tapes. Got some music videos there. The music videos I won't really show in this video. I think they deserve a video on their own, so I'll show you those in another video. Or maybe I'll show you in this video. Who knows? You know, I had those tapes for a long time. And then we got some Warner Brothers stuff down here, some cartoons, and as well as some clamshells up there. So I'll show you those as well. But let's start now, because these videos take a while. And I'll probably do them in parts, just to let you know. Alright, so starting with the Paramount section, we have Tom Hanks' Forrest Gump. This was released in 1994, a great movie from Paramount. Haven't seen it in a while, maybe I need to throw it in it. Oh, excuse me, maybe I need to throw it in again, but it's an awesome movie. This is a movie from my childhood, Jack Black in School of Rock. School of Rock was definitely one of my favorite childhood movies growing up. I remember it thoroughly. Again, a lot of these movies I haven't seen in a while, but I love Schoolhouse Rock. It's a very great movie. Very clever movie as well. And it had a lot of themes that I really didn't get as a kid, but I get now, and it's like, doggone it, they got away with that? How was I watching this when I was 4? But anyway, the next one is Wayne's World, featuring Mike Myers, and I forget the other dude's name. Jesus Christ. It's Wayne's World, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I know one of the guys in here is Mike Myers. I can't remember who he is. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a while. This is what college will do to you. It'll make you forget everything that you once loved. Next one is Top Gun, starring Tom Hanks. This is actually a 1996 reprint of Top Gun. In 1996, the movie celebrated its 10th anniversary. I would say it was released in 1986, so in 1996, Paramount re-released it in this limited, well, not limited edition, but just special edition cartridge. Again, great movie. I'm not a big 80s fan. I don't have too many 80s movies in my collection, but that's definitely one that I just had to own. This is everybody's favorite, Titanic, released in 1997. James Cameron. Again, you know, need I say more about this movie? It's a great film, and it actually comes with 2 cassettes. Now, one may think that one of these cassettes may have special features and blah blah blah. It doesn't. It's the actual movie. This movie is a pretty lengthy movie. And so when that happens, at least when that happened back in the day before DVD, when one tape finished, then you would obviously stop it and put in the other one. You know, it's a very lengthy movie, and so they had to put it on 2 cassettes. But no, the second tape does not have any special features. There's nothing on here. No previews, nothing. It's just the movie itself. Now we're getting into the Universal tapes. We have Jurassic Park, released in 1993, a Steven Spielberg film. Again, one of those movies that you really don't have to say much about. Everybody knows about Jurassic Park. The sequels, maybe not so much, because they were only good up until a point. And then the new Jurassic Park, I have not seen. I don't know how good that is. But I will always cherish and love the original, because it was the original, and it's good. Next, we got The Mummy. This was released in 1999. Again, another great Universal movie. Blends a unique mix of action, adventure, and comedy into one film. It's a pretty great movie. I've had this tape for a long time. This is Kindergarten Cop with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is actually a re-release. This movie is from 1990, but this is a re-release from Universal. They did the Comedy Greats collection in 1997, so this was re-released in 97 from Universal. Great film. Basically a cop that teaches kindergartners. Well, there's more to the plot, but, you know, for the 30 seconds I have, there you go. This is the Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, featuring Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy, and Janet Jackson. Although Janet Jackson is not pictured on this. But it what can I say about this movie? It's a lot. It's a pretty decent movie. I do not have the first Nutty Professor, but the second one they hit the ball with that one. Just telling you. This is Adam Sandler's Happy Gilmore. This is the good Adam Sandler before he just turned a leaf completely. This is when he was great at making movies, released in 1996. This movie is way ahead of its time. The comedy that's in it, the writing is way... It seems like this movie... If this movie was made today, it was, you know... One could not tell the difference if this movie was made today or if it was made in 1996. That's how modern the humor is in that. But anyway, moving on, we're going to Touchstone Pictures, and this, after I finish this section, then we'll stop this part and go to another part. So we'll have a part 2 and probably a part 3. So this is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. This was released in 1988. This is basically the precursor to Space Jam, people. Been blending awesome traditional animation with a live action environment. Great movie. Again, one of my favorites. You know, you guys know I'm a cartoon lover, and so, you know, I just had to have Roger Rabbit in my collection. Sister Act, featuring Whoopi Goldberg. This is another great movie. This one is from 1991. Pretty good movie. I think everybody remembers the second one more than the first one. But the first one is obviously the one that started it all. And before the sequels, you know, we get introduced to all the characters. Man, I really need to watch some of these movies again. Literally, guys, it's been months since I've seen some of these. However, I did recently watch this one again. This is Armageddon, a Michael Bay film. Now, keep in mind, this Michael Bay film is pretty decent. Although, if you look at his other works, I would say not so. But this is starring Bruce Willis. Takes a group of astronauts basically to save the world from corruption and destruction. Awesome movie, Touchstone Pictures. Awesome soundtrack. Featuring Aerosmith. You know, gotta love that as well. And another bonus feature too. By the way, this movie was released in 1998. A bonus feature is you get the music video at the end of it. I don't want to miss a thing. Because what's Armageddon without Aerosmith, right? It would be absolutely nothing. because it's a Michael Bay film. Anyway, this is Daddy Daycare, another childhood classic. Oh my goodness, I love this movie. Featuring Eddie Murphy. I mean, what more can I say, right? This was released in 2003 by Columbia Pictures. Columbia Pictures has to be one of my favorite movie studios. I gotta love them. But this is a great movie. I mean, this is one of those obvious ones that, you know, if you haven't seen Daddy Daycare, it's a great movie. One of those obvious movies that you should see before you die. just tell you that much. Now, the sequel, Daddy Day Camp, I don't really like that one that much. That has Cuba Gooding Jr. in it, but I definitely love Daddy Daycare. Okay, now, I know I'm going to get a lot of people laughing at me with this one. Mr. Deeds. Okay, guys, I know what you're thinking, but when I first saw this movie, I thought it was hilarious. And I'm not going to lie to you, I still kind of think it's hilarious. You know, the way he acts in this environment with these characters is, you know, it's decent for what it is, but it's not a great movie. It's a decent movie. Please don't shoot the messenger, okay? This is an interesting movie. You guys like Rugrats? Well, before Rugrats, we had Look Who's Talking. Basically, Rugrats, just live action. I mean, what more can I say? This movie was released in 1988. Again, this is from the 80s. Someone actually gave me this movie as a gift. And, you know, I just kind of added it to my collection. And it's a pretty good movie. They actually made a sequel and I think a prequel to it. So they made Look Who's Talking, Look Who's Talking 2, and Look Who's Talking Now. Look Who's Talking 2 and Now came out in the 90s. But this one, I think everybody agrees that this one is the better one than the other two. Alright, now next we got one of my favorites right here. This is Muppets from Space. Guys, I love Muppet movies. I really do. Although this one, and you'll see later, I got a Muppets Christmas Carol up there, are the only two Muppet movies I currently have. But this is one of my favorites. Basically, when Gonzo tries to find out who his parents are, I love this movie. Comedy is great. Writing is great. Muppet performance is great. I just really enjoy this film from Columbia Pictures and Jim Henson. Awesome movie. Next one is another great, awesome movie from Columbia Pictures. It's Mr. Jones and Mr. Smith in Men in Black. This movie is 21 years old now. Can you believe that? At the end of this movie, you get another music video. You get the Will Smith music video of Men in Black. Great movie. Sequel came out in 2002. Prequel or threequel came out in 2012. So they did 3 Men in Blacks. But again, the first one is where it's at, baby. And look at just look at this VHS tape. Look at how holographic it is. That's awesome. Don't worry, guys. I'm almost done with this segment. Next, I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. This came out in 1990. This is from New Line Cinema. Before the Teenage Mutant, this is really when the guys, I guess you can call them guys, were at the height of their popularity. It also lets you know how old they are. If you care about knowing that, you know, hey, millennials, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were actually around before you, or during you, or when you were born. But anyway, this is when they were at the height of their popularity, and they released their first movie. They also released a second movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 2, and a third movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. As well as other incarnations of movies and stuff that came out in the 2000s that no one really cares about. Anyway, going on, this is a great movie. I have the soundtrack to this movie. Somebody gave me the soundtrack. And I don't know, 2-3 years later, actually 4 years later, I said, you know what, why don't I actually get the film? And so I did, Now and Then. A great movie from New Line Cinema. It's a great story, basically about a group of girls who are best friends and basically trying to just go on an adventure, and then basically their older counterparts relive their younger days, pretty much. Finally, with this shelf, we have my only MGM tape, but it's a oldie but a goodie. It's James Bond 007, Tomorrow Never Dies. Great movie from 1997. Now and Then, I didn't say that, but Now and Then is from 1995. This is a great movie. I love this one. Action-filled, adventure-filled, James Bond-filled. Gotta love it. I also have the video game for Tomorrow Never Dies on PlayStation. So you'll see that when I do my PlayStation collection. But as far as this rack, that's it. And see you guys next time.